Everyone's talking about quiet quitting, but what if we've got it all wrong? What if it's not about laziness, but a silent revolution against burnout and unsustainable demands? We're diving deep into the psychology behind this phenomenon, asking if it's a symptom of a broken system or a profound reevaluation of personal worth. If you're getting value from this breakdown, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It really helps push this message to more people who need to hear it. And if you want to explore these ideas even further, check out my link tree in the description or on the About page. I've put together a curated list of books and research papers that expand on everything we're discussing here. Some of the links are affiliate links, which help support the channel at no extra cost to you. Let's keep growing together. Before we get all deep and philosophical, let me start with something we all understand. That moment when you swear you're going to be productive, and then somehow you're lying on your bed scrolling your phone like you're training for the Olympics. You know the drill. You open your laptop with purpose. You're motivated. You're inspired. You're ready to conquer life. 2 minutes later, you're Googling, why do billionaires wake up at 3 a.m. while simultaneously eating snacks you didn't remember buying? It's like productivity tries to call you and your brain hits decline like it's a spam number. And listen, I'm not judging. I do it too. I once sat down to finally fix my schedule, and 40 minutes later I was watching a video of a raccoon washing cotton candy in a puddle. I don't even like raccoons. But there I was, emotionally invested. And that's when it hit me. Maybe we're not lazy, maybe we're not unmotivated, maybe we're just tired of doing the absolute most for the absolute least. Because tell me why trying to give 100% at work feels like pushing a shopping cart with one broken wheel? You're trying your best, but the whole thing keeps swerving left like it's drunk. And that is where quiet quitting sneaks in like, hey man, what if we just stop stressing so much? Not quitting, just quitting the part where we suffer unnecessarily. We act like it's some rebellious act, but honestly, it's probably just our brains filing an HR complaint against our lifestyles. We've romanticized hustling so hard that resting feels illegal. Taking lunch feels like a crime. Clocking out on time feels like running from the scene. But here's the twist. The more you look around, the more you realize quiet quitting isn't laziness. It's self-preservation. It's your mind saying, bro, we cannot keep living like we're a laptop on 2% with no charger in sight. And the funniest part? Most of us didn't even decide to quiet quit. We just woke up one day and said, I think I'm done doing overtime for emotional coupons. Because at some point you stop chasing validation and you start chasing sanity. So yeah, maybe quiet quitting isn't a meltdown. Maybe it's a breakthrough. Maybe it's us finally asking, hey, what if my peace is actually worth something? And honestly, that realization hits harder than caffeine on an empty stomach. Now let's talk about the psychology behind this whole quiet quitting thing. Because trust me, it runs way deeper than just, I don't feel like answering this email. Here's the wild part. Most people aren't quietly quitting their work. They're quietly quitting the nonsense around it, the unrealistic expectations, the invisible emotional labor, the we're a family here speeches that somehow never come with a raise. It's funny, companies will be like, we care about mental health, and then give you 12 tasks, 3 deadlines, and a meeting that should have been an email, all before lunch. Of course, people are quitting quietly. They're trying not to quit loudly. Psychologists call this withdrawal behavior. I call it my brain putting itself in airplane mode. Because let's be honest, there's only so many times you can give 110% before you realize 110% isn't even mathematically possible. Like, you're literally giving extra percent from your imagination. But here's where it gets interesting. Quiet quitting isn't a lack of ambition. It's a lack of reward. Think about it. If every time you volunteered for extra work, all you got was a thanks and an extra task, you'd stop volunteering too. You're not a hero, you're free labor, and your brain knows this. Your brain is like, listen, king, queen, if they're not going to treat us like we matter, we're going to run this system on bare minimum mode until further notice. Which, honestly, is the healthy thing to do. But here's the plot twist. Most people don't quietly quit because they're weak. They quietly quit because they're finally strong enough to stop performing for people who don't value them. And when you look at it like that, quiet quitting becomes less of a retreat and more of a boundary. It's choosing peace over pressure, sanity over stress, balance over burnout. Because if your job is draining your soul like a phone on low brightness trying to save battery, at some point you stop asking, how can I do more? And start asking, how can I stop feeling like a zombie tied to a spreadsheet? And that shift, that right there, is the revolution nobody wants to admit is happening. People aren't quitting their work. They're quitting the lies that came with it.